Okay, welcome back to the channel, you guys, and let's just get this out of the way. This is our new side project for the channel, a 1994 Toyota Celica that we just picked up. And the reason we got this car and the story behind it is pretty cool. So my wife's first car that she ever owned was a 1994 Toyota Celica, just like this one. It was white, manual transmission, and it even had stripes on the hood. She loved that car so much. She drove it for I think 10 years, all through high school, college, and for a few years after. And this is the car that actually got her into Supras because it's from the same era. It's kind of like a baby looking Supra. Not nearly the same kind of performance or anything like that, but just the appearance and it being an old 90s Toyota. So this car was very different than everybody else in her school who had like, you know, brand new cars, their parents' SUVs, stuff like that. You know, she's driving around in this 90s manual car. Well, anyways, after about 10 years, like I said, she had to end up selling it because it had a lot of mechanical problems. It was gonna cost a lot of money to fix, way more than it was worth. I think she sold it for $1,500 in 2018, and we bought her a new Honda Civic, 2018 Honda Civic, used that money towards the down payment, and we just didn't have enough room to like hang on to it. At the time, I was also not like a super hardcore car enthusiast. I've always been into cars, I've always loved cars, but I didn't have like a car collection, I didn't work on cars or anything like that. I was just out of high school, or I was just out of college, so I didn't have that much money. So I wasn't mechanically inclined enough to keep and fix it myself. So unfortunately, we sold it. We actually sold it to somebody that we know, but then they sold it to somebody else, and then we don't have contact with that person that we sold it to anymore, and it changed hands a couple of times, and we just lost it forever. We never knew what happened to it. But then we started seeing it on the road near us. Maybe like once a year we'd see it drive by, and we knew it was hers because it was white, had these dark blue stripes on the hood. It even had her college sticker on the back. It was missing a mud flap, so we knew it was her car. So we saw it maybe 3 or 4 times over an 8-year period. And then a couple weeks ago, this one popped up on Facebook Marketplace, and it looked very similar to hers. It was white, manual, 94, same year. But this is where it gets really weird. Tell me, what are the odds of this, you guys? This car also has stripes on the hood. However, they are a little different than the ones that were on her car back in the day. She had like dark blue stripes. These are like a silver or maybe like a dark gray. They also have these like hard corners here where hers were like rounded, and she even had like an outline around the whole thing. So they're not the same, but it was kind of funny seeing another white 94 Celica with stripes on the hood. But then we started looking a little bit closer at the pictures and realized these are the exact same aftermarket wheels that she had on hers, and she actually put those on herself because she had a couple of bent wheels, I think from the previous owner. So then we started thinking, okay, something's up here. Now let me hop inside the car and show you one last detail. Now, not only was this also the same exact aftermarket head unit that she had, you see how this little door is kind of like sanded down right here? You can see the little gap. Hers was exactly like that too. So at this point, that's just way too many similarities, right? So I went ahead and sent a message to the seller on Facebook and asked him to send me the VIN, and she actually went and dug up some old records and found the VIN of her car. And you guys, it was an exact match. This is her old car that she owned from like 2008 to 2018, her very first car, her baby. So when we figured that out, we knew we had to buy it no matter what the price was, no matter what was wrong with it. So I actually have some footage of us going to look at it and buying it the next day, so I'll insert it right here. Okay, we're in the neighborhood where the car is. We're almost there. And the guy is asking $3,200, so we're definitely gonna try and talk him down because it has over 300,000 miles. I think it's that turn right down there. There it is. Can't see it in video, but it looks pretty good for rust, right? Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go test drive it real quick. Starts up good. Oh my god, my head is touching the roof. And that's all I had, but here it is. So the seller was asking $3,200. Way too much for this car, and I'll tell you why. But I was able to talk him down just a little, and absolutely no way I was gonna let this guy know that this was her old car, because then he wasn't gonna budge on the price at all. He might even like pump the price up a little. I was able to tire kick a little, mention all the issues and everything. I offered him $2,700. I think he went to $2,900 and we landed on $2,800. So $2,800 for this car is extremely overpriced, but the sentimental value of this car is priceless. So let's do a quick walk around of the car. I'll show you all the cosmetic issues, mechanical problems. We'll talk about what we're gonna fix first, what our plans are for the car, what kind of series we're gonna do. So let's do it real quick. All right, so starting with the front. Again, I mentioned the stripes. Now what's weird is these are not the same stripes that were originally on her car. Somehow, this car ended up with stripes again, only on the hood. It doesn't go on the roof or on the trunk or anything, but they're a different color, different shape. So what happened? Well, I think the car was actually in some kind of minor fender bender. So let's go over here and look at the front left fender. Now you can see the bottom there, a little messed up, nothing too crazy, a little denting there, but the fitment of the fender, hood, and front bumper is just not good. So you can actually see it better if I back up a little here. So you can see how high it is on the right, how low it is on the left. Nothing is just lining up really well. So I think we have some deeper problems. I'll show you here in a second when I pop the hood. So I can actually tell the whole car was repainted, and I believe it was because of this accident. But I don't think that was the only thing that happened. I think it was either in two accidents or they got sandwiched between two cars and got hit in the rear as well. Because one time we saw the car and it had a black bumper on it. I actually have a video of that. I took it when I was driving behind them, so we just randomly saw it.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Did they get the hatch painted? It's missing the ST.
Probably got in an accident. And again, we knew it was her car because it only had one mud flap on the left, none on the right. It looks like they've actually gone ahead and removed it finally. But it did have a black bumper. Now it's painted, but you can see here, see how it fits up nice and flush right there. And then you go to this side, big gap here. It's actually further, this is further in, or either this is further out, one of the two. Again, you can see how nice and lined up it is there. And then what that one looks like. So something else going on here in the back too. And oh, I forgot the fitment of the hatch. You can see big gap right there. Yep, see the big gap there? Let's compare it to this side. This one is nice and flush. All right, I'll show more of the interior here in a second, but let me just pop the hood. So let's see if we can find any frame structural damage or anything like that. There is a little bit. It's just all very minor, at least. You can see this is the radiator support here. What do you call this piece that's like under the front bumper? You can see that dent right there. It's like pushed down. This is also bent here. So something happened there. And then this is really probably the worst part of it. You see how this is kind of curved? Just looks like it was bent a little bit. Maybe you can see, maybe right there you can see it just doesn't look right. Something's going on. I need to pull it apart and look at it with no bumper or fender. That's what it's supposed to look like. You see how nice and straight this one is? So again, that's what that one looks like. Come over to here and just not straight. Maybe have to replace the radiator support, not sure. This is just a side note. They also painted the side markers here, which we don't really like, so we're gonna try and find some amber ones to replace those with. The paint job was honestly not done very well. It's very dull. It's not shiny at all. And I don't know, just not very good. And they even added this side decal here that just says Sport. Okay. This, again, not done very well. You can see doesn't really line up with the door there. Big bubble in the sticker here. It's just a sticker, it's not painted on. Big crease here. Just doesn't look very good. It's all peeling off right here. Actually taking a little bit of the paint if you try to take it off. So yeah, obviously that looks really weird. We're gonna take that off. Hopefully I can get it off without ruining the paint, but the whole car is gonna have to get resprayed anyways. Now we probably will replace these wheels as well. When she got these wheels, I think she was in high school, maybe even early college, so we didn't have much money, so we just had to go with a cheap set. They're honestly not bad, like the design is okay, but they're just like a cheap rep set, so we'll get something really cool for this car. And then not much else to mention on the back, really. You can see all the badges have been removed when it was repainted. The trunk is also wet on the inside. I believe the reason is this right here. So the antenna completely broken off, and if you move it a little, there's actually a giant hole exposed. So I'm just gonna plug this. I don't even care about getting a new antenna for it. So I usually just try to move it and cover that hole there until I can get that fixed. I have a plug that I'm probably gonna use. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. There we go. God, this is heavy. Okay, so this plastic piece needs to be replaced. I can't get it to stay up on here. And then under this mat, not gonna pull it up too far, it's nasty. You can see, ew, it just like flopped over. So it's all wet here. This cardboard cover thing is soaking wet. Luckily, it's not like full of pools of water, and I don't actually see any rust under there. So need to fix that ASAP before it gets worse. You can also see when we look from up here, the little bit of pushing in that has happened. Let's see if you guys can see it. Yeah, let's look over here. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, starting to get a little dark, so I need to run through this pretty quick here, but we've got the engine here. This is just a really low power 4-cylinder. I think this car has 110 horsepower from the factory. No modifications except for this intake right here. And what's funny is I actually put this intake on this car probably 15 years ago. Gonna be replacing it probably with the stock airbox because this thing is just, I don't know, not high quality. The resonator is still in there. I just need to get the airbox and connect it back to the resonator. I'm thinking this might be causing a little bit of loss of power too, because this is the original filter I put on it 15 years ago. So who knows? But yeah, not much else to say on the engine as far as just what it is. So if anybody has any suggestions or ideas of what we can do in the future to maybe give this car a little more horsepower, let me know. I know a lot of people have suggested engine swapping it with the, is it 3S GTE? 3S? Yeah, 3S GTE. I think that's from the Celica GT4. Looking inside the car here, the interior was not well taken care of, unfortunately. My wife took great care of it when she owned it, but then, you know, just a lot has happened to it over the years. You can see the seat here really messed up. This was not torn up at all. It was starting to get like a little thin right here when she owned it, but now, I mean, huge chunks missing. So definitely looking for a new seat. Maybe we'll just go with something aftermarket. Passenger one is fine, no problem there. This car actually has manual crank windows, which is a huge pain in the butt because it's fine for the driver, but if you want to put down both windows, you can't, like, you have to like reach all the way over there. Such a pain. Maybe we can convert this car to having power windows. That would be kind of cool. Okay, so like I mentioned, this car actually is a 5-speed manual, and I have to say, feels pretty weird buying a car that's already manual. The Supra and the Integra, both automatic when I bought those. I mean, I bought my brand new BRZ manual, but you basically get to choose whatever you want from the factory. But yeah, buying a car that's already manual, great feeling. So this is a 5-speed and it shifts perfectly. So when she owned it, it had a common issue that these have. When you shift into third, it would grind sometimes, like, I don't know, maybe 1 out of 3 times. Unless you did it really carefully at the right moment, it wouldn't grind. But they must have fixed it because it doesn't do it anymore. Now the main issue with this car is gonna be the mileage. It currently has 306,902 miles. So this car actually has more than the Integra. I think my Integra has 303,000. So combined with all of my cars, I might be close to 1 million miles. But yeah, not much else to say in here. Steering wheel needs to be replaced. It had this cover on it when I picked it up, but I hate these things, so we're not gonna use that. It's got these ugly red floor mats. Oh, the back seat, those are fine. They're just kind of like stained up a little, so you can see lots of stains. The headliner has been stained. None of this happened when she owned it, so it's all from the previous owner. The center console here is broken, so these are the cup holders actually. It slides out like that. What's funny, my wife has a funny story. She didn't know that this had cup holders for the longest time because this is also the handle that opens this, but then you slide it out like that and there's 2 cup holders. So I remember her and her friend discovering that or something. But yeah, this is like really broken. Every single one that I've seen at the junkyard is also broken, so it seems to be pretty common. So yeah, we've got some work to do on the interior here, but it's not the worst I've ever seen. The Integra was definitely in a little bit better shape than this car, but for 306,000 miles, it's actually pretty decent. I mean, look at this, you guys. There's like no rust in here at all. Let's go over to this side. Look at this side. No rust at all. Nice. That's really good. Bro, I do this all the time. I go to start the car and I'm like, where's the key? And it's sticking out of the trunk. Okay, so we do have some mechanical issues. Let me start the car up. Fire's right up at least. So you can already hear it a little bit. Hear the squeaking? Now watch this, you guys. Ugh. No power steering. Oh. Oh, it gets so much louder when you turn the wheel. Oh, it's not happy. There we go. If I straighten the wheel, it stops. So obviously this is probably gonna be a bad power steering pump. And you can see the belt right here. I actually have a video, it's vertical, but I'll throw it in here. I set up my camera pointing at the belt and I turn the wheel and the belt completely froze up for like a second or two. So definitely something is freezing up, causing the belt to get stuck. So we're gonna have to fix that ASAP. Oh, and I do believe they put some kind of aftermarket exhaust or maybe just some different muffler on here. It is different than what was on her car originally. So let me set up the camera, I'll give you a couple revs. It doesn't sound good, but it is a little bit louder and there's gonna be some smoke, so be prepared. God, it's getting so cold. Oh, also, what is the point of these things? Like, obviously, like fake carbon fiber, it's like rubber, and it's just stuck to both of the mirrors. Is that supposed to give you some aerodynamics? Maybe it's just so water doesn't get on it. I don't know. Those are coming off. Okay, now to show you the final and probably biggest issue that it currently has. Let's go for a test drive. Because the alignment here is so bad, you can't just drop the hood. You have to push it down. You have to do it in the exact right spot. There we go. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this car has a clutch that has gone bad. It's, I think it's slipping. So when you get up to like 50, 60 miles an hour in like third or fourth gear, hit the gas, it goes nowhere. And then you can also smell a little burning smell. So the RPMs go up, but the speed does not go up. This car has like no power right now, like abnormally low amount of power. The car already is like not a fast car. But it's definitely something wrong. Oh, you can also see the airbag light in the corner there. So I think it needs a new clock spring. The horn doesn't work. Currently pushing on it. All right, so let me get over to more of a highway road and I'll see if I can show you guys what's going on. All right, I am flooring it right now. Flooring it. Fourth gear. Okay, I've got it straight here. Flooring it right now. Nothing's happening. Flooring it. I mean, it took like 7-8 seconds to go from 60 to 70 miles an hour. Could it just be the 110 horsepower engine? I don't think so. I think the clutch is bad. Punching it again. Even the RPMs aren't really going up that much. So yeah, I mean, it's just slow. That's basically the summary of the test drive here. But like I said, you guys, at least it shifts normally. So I think they might have replaced the transmission or something, because it was not that smooth back in the day. Oh, we are running out of gas here. Going to fourth gear. Yeah, totally fine. All right, let's go get gas. So there we have it. That is my wife's old 1994 Celica, and we've got it back. So what are we gonna do with it on the channel? Well, I'd really love to restore it and have it be a nice, reliable car that she can drive around. I don't know how much of a build we're gonna do. I definitely wanna get it looking cool. I don't know. I'd like to do maybe the same style of build I've done with the Integra, minus the, upcoming case swap. But, lowering it on some nice wheels with a nice exhaust, getting it nice and painted, fixing all the mechanical issues. Maybe some kind of little body kit, like, factory one. I don't know. I'd like to make it look really nice and just have it be something that she can drive to the grocery store just for fun to enjoy her old car. I keep seeing things that I forgot to mention, but you see how the front bumper here, those like white vertical things are painted? Not supposed to be like that. That's supposed to be all black, so I'll fix that too. If you guys have any ideas for what kind of mods I should do, or what kind of series I should do, I'm thinking about doing the same thing I've done with the Integra on my shorts videos, where I take the money it makes and then reinvest it into the car. I don't think this car is gonna make as much money as the Integra has made on all the videos. It seems to be, I posted a short video already and the reactions were really positive. Lots of Celica fans out there. But I think the Integra just gets a little bit more views and stuff. So we could try that. It might work for this build though, because I'm not trying to do any, crazy engine swap maybe. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, any ideas, let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed so you can keep up with the updates on the Celica, the Integra, the Supra, all the other cars, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. All right, welcome back to the channel, you guys, and look at what we got here. Oh my, this is gonna be an exciting video. I'm actually surprised, you guys. She says she likes the seats. I thought she was gonna hate them, to be honest. So I was looking at TJ's Ferrari, and look who showed up.